Hey guys, it's me, Ruo Wen Huang. It's supposed to be our Friday coffee break, but then because I skipped an episode yesterday, so I thought I might well just have a topic of yesterday because I kind of want to get it wrapped up because those two are very similar to one another. So anyway, before I start, my name is Ruo Wen Huang. I am an author, spirit coach, and also a psychic. On Thursday, we talk about eczema, right? And I tell you, eczema and allergy is very similar. That's why I want to talk about it. Why? Let me quickly refresh your guys' mind. Eczema is mostly caused by your physical damage in whatever life, this life or previous life, whatever life. You are associate certain emotion with a physical pain. That's why in this life you tend to have like eczema, right? So, as I also briefly mentioned, allergy is usually caused by substance. Substance mean it's not necessarily you're physically having a pain, but you associate certain trauma memory. You associate certain memory or certain experience or, painful experience together with certain substance. Therefore, that substance will then create reaction, allergy reaction in your body in this life, even though you have no previous record what caused it. So, anyway, you guys must be curious why a psychic getting to all those kind of different topics, right? Because I'm happen to be a psychic who got a lot of, illness or disorder in me. So I'm always curious, other than medical explanation to it, what other area can I look into, right? So, but then let me clarify again, I'm not a doctor. As I say, I seek for balancing life. I advise balancing life. I'm not planning to act like a Dr. One either. So, soul, body, mind. I could mention it over and over as long as I'm talking about illness or disorder. The best way to keep yourself healthy is find a balance of three. Right? Not to abuse one or the other, not to only seek for spiritual solution, not to only seek for medical solution or depending on it, but to find the best balance of three. That's how at the end result you will get the most healthy body that you always seek for. But anyway, back to the topic, talk about allergy. What started me to look for allergy is I actually start with a friend who had this itchiness reaction, but she couldn't figure out what. Right? She experienced all kind of allergy in her life, and then one time in the conversation we were just talking about, she had this kind of allergy that she cannot find source, even though she have done tests or things like that. But what happened is like her body would itchy, that whole body would feel itchiness, right? So for fun, she's my number one guinea pig. If one day she would be on Periscope, she would tell you how many times she's been put on the guinea pig table for me. So at that time, I was trying newly discover past life. So and also regression. So at that time, we say, I don't know, let's try figure it out, right? Because part of the exercise regression is once you have a question, usually it will lead through the regression, it bring you to find the source of what caused it. So with the intention to purposely find out what caused that itchiness, that she cannot figure out what, we end up tracing back and find out it was based on a memory that she had, like she was actually sexually abused in regular basis under the basement. And the basement, in order to take her mind away from the situation that she was being abused, she focused on how dirty or how the ground, the environment that make her itchy, right? So in that life she suffered through, she is not able to confront. She's not able to confront what's happening to her. And then that suppression and things like that, then will also always associate with that kind of itchiness, that feeling that she's feeling at that moment. So that's why, come back to the slide we discussed, like, is she dealing with the same emotion too? If she feel like she's being in the situation, like she's not able to confront something, or she feels she's being suppressed, certain emotions, she's not able to freely express herself or speak out what really happened to her, right? So anyway, that was an area that we later discovered what triggered it. So it's tied very closely to emotion. So because of her case started, I started to pay some attention to clients' allergy, friends' kids' allergy, or even my own allergy, right? And then through time, I have a lot of experience, like a lot of case study. Like I know someone who is severe allergy to milk, right? With intention to figure out what caused it, we realized this girl in the previous life was in the care of a caretaker, a nanny, and basically a mother. So obviously from a very wealthy family, but somehow, some reason couldn't trace the database of parents. So assuming she's only taken care of by those two people. She was very sick kids at home at that life, and in some incident or something, she discovered the caregiver and the butler tend to put drug in the milk to poison her to death. Not right away, but slowly poison her to death to make her think she's ill and things like that. So even though she discovered it, she cannot refuse to drink the milk because they tend to watch her to drink the milk. So she still had to be forced to drink the milk, even though she know that milk contains poison and potentially would kill her, right? So that caused, in this life, she has very severe allergy to the milk, but she also created fear. She doesn't trust whoever taking care of, who prepare her food, like including her own family. She will always question. So basically, due to the experience of the past life, in this life, she also created a fear. She does not trust people, even that including the caregiver, her direct family, right? She will always question it. Then again, I can give you a lot of cases. As I said, I studied allergy for a really long time. They are hay fever, trace back and notice someone being, abused in the field, brutally abused. So somehow, in order to bring themselves out of that trauma situation, they associate with the scent they smell or the texture that they feel on their body and what kind of sensation they're experiencing. And then there's also a girl who is super allergic to the cedar tree, only cedar tree, but then couldn't figure out why. And then again, trace back, we find out she was once got tied to a cedar tree and got let bleed to death, right? And also there are a little boy who is very allergic to a certain smell or chemical, I would say. And then trace it back, we notice like he was once in concentration camp. So he is really associate that smell, certain smell, as death, right? That's why the body start creating all kind of crazy reaction to it. So I don't know about you, like I just give you a couple cases of what I experienced or throughout the years of people I've been having, consultation with. Do you guys see the pattern, as I say, right? And there may be different cases, but then I continue seeking the pattern. What caused it? This is the moment I realized the disease, the allergy, somehow, some way, mysteriously, it seems to tie in very closely to substance. The substance is just not any random substance. It's usually a substance that when they were in somehow, somewhere in that life, they emotionally are dealing through trauma. You know what I mean? They're dealing through trauma, but somehow they decide to pull themselves out of that trauma, that what really happened to them, but associate that kind of pain, like they're focusing that pain on certain substance that they were feeling at that time, right? So it depends on what, as a result, what actually really happened to them. I noticed their symptoms of this life will vary too. Some will have just minor itchiness. Some people will have very severe, like either they will have life-threatening. So it really, the result of this life somehow, some way tied very closely to what actually happened in that life. In that specific life, they might die. Therefore, in this life, they associate that kind of pain, smell, substance as they are going to die as well. While some people, they did not die. They simply associate that as, irritation of their body, or, things like that. So anyway, that just give you guys a little bit start, like what get me into it, because just the patterning get me very interested, like, what causes, right? Because I myself had a lot of allergy. I have hay fever, I allergic to dog, cat, not to mention I'm even allergic to avocado, kiwi, and all kind of fruit and all that. So as I say, throughout the years, I also put myself into test because I'm curious of what can really break myself free, right? So I can work on the minor symptom one. Minor symptom one is the one that may simply only cause me irritation, or might simply cause me snitching, like coughing or sneeze, or eye irritation. I start working on the minor things that would cause the allergy symptom I have. So I choose what other people always do, like avoid them. Avoid them mean if I'm allergic to hay, I just avoid them. Hay fever is kind of the worst for me. I'm not gonna share what caused it, but hay fever is the worst for me, right? So in that situation, the symptom would get really bad to a point like I almost have to drop myself right away. I have to take, allergy medicine and all that. But a lot of things I can pretty much control. So with hay fever, I do with what other people say, just don't go closer because it hit me really hard, right? But then I start working on the little things that cause little symptoms for me. So such as cat, dog, or, kiwi, avocado, or, milk even at the beginning. So through the years of testing on myself or work on other client who is willing to work with me, I start to realize actually the best way to work with allergy is to introduce very little amounts of it. That, for example, I was very allergic to cat. I mean, if I touch a cat or if I go to a room with cat or something, I will have my eyes always watering, I'm itchy, and soon my nose will get plugged up, and then probably a regular symptom you will always see. So when I set in my intention to overcome this disease, I decided to have a cat in my house. So sure enough, a lot of people will say, that's crazy, right? That's crazy. I'm like suicidal or something. But what I did is I would go from, I bath my cat regularly, even though people say, it's not good for a cat, things like I bath my cat regularly, to a point that bath would go from every 2-3 days to once a week to once every 10 days to once every 2 weeks, right? Eventually, I'm kind of used to it. Like now, I'm still allergic to it. I still cannot rub my eyes, but I will say compared to I was before, I'm better. So there's something. When I start trying this and it seems to work, I try to apply with something else. So such as a food, if I'm really allergic to it, how do I do it? I would take the quantity that is safe. I know it will irritate me, but I know it will not kill me. You know what I mean? I would take a little bit at a time in a, span of once a week or once every 2 weeks to try the frequency a little bit more or try the dose a little bit more to get myself used to it. It's throughout the process, I try to also pay attention what actually going on internally, spiritually, to make me really let go of this allergy association. Is when that thing that used to mean something or something trauma or something in my previous life, by continue introducing to myself, my own self, I then convince myself, I teach or understand or got to a point realize that thing no longer mean that thing. You know what I mean? Like these things I'm taking or I'm eating, for example, I might get killed by milk in that life. Does that mean I will get killed by milk in this life? Not so much, right? But, if we're living in fear, Like, I'm allergic to it. I'm allergic to it. What it end up happening is you then still giving that power, that substance of power to kill you, right? So your body simply have to respond what your soul command. If your soul believe that something is gonna kill you, the chances it will. So what you're gonna do is you really have to train your brain. You train your soul. In this case, you're training your soul, because everything your logic know, your soul is not being convinced. Your logic say milk is not gonna kill me in this life, but your soul didn't believe that, because you probably got traumatized so many times in the previous life. So what you really have to do, again, this is what I said, eczema and allergies are very similar. You have to convince your soul or educate your soul, like to disassociate that emotion from that substance, right? How do you do that? It's almost by introduce a little. In my case, I introduce a little bit at a time, saying, look, you are good. You're still good, right? You believe that things will kill you, but you didn't. See, you're still good, right? It didn't work right away, just let you guys know. If you guys are interested in trying it out, first, very small dose. Like me, right? If I have 5 allergy hit me at once, I still had to depend on allergy. This is the time I tell you, soul, body, mind, you have to depend on authority sometime, because little, very safe dose, right? If peanut, I say, try to overcome peanut. Don't just go grab a handful and eat it. Don't do that. That, I here gonna warn you, that's called suicidal. How I know? Because I tried that. Don't do that, okay? But try among a quantity and a dose that is safe. That, in your personal opinion, no, is gonna irritate you, but it's not gonna kill you, right? So even that means you have to have, 1/4 of peanuts or something. That's okay. Or, what happened is, I realized through my brain activity is I slowly disassociate the experience, the trauma that I'm going through in that specific past life, whatever past life, to simply focusing on, see, it didn't kill me. See, I'm good. See? You know what I mean? So when the more evidence I'm able to collect as a human, say, see, this substance is not going to kill me, right? In this life, I then boost up a little bit more confidence. Then I'm able to introduce it again. I'm able to, eventually, I would say it would take average or minimum about 6 months for your brain to start, for your soul to start being convinced by your logic. Like, see, take about 6 months. So don't go crazy like, oh, let me try 2 times, I'm all cured. No, not really. Take about 6 months. You want to fully cure, it might take longer time. But anyway, I hope give you guys a little bit idea. But just from all the case throughout the years, I really work within myself, try to see if I can find a cure to to cure my soul, really, in a way. That's what we are all here for. Otherwise, we don't have to pour here and do all the tests that we're dealing with, right? So that's why I come to this moment and I'm able to share with you guys. In order to keep the healthy body or have a healthy body, one thing you have to know, your body is the tool to your soul, right? Your body, the way it looks, the way it is, the way it functions is exactly what your soul commands. So you don't let your body control your soul. Your soul will tell your body what to do, right? The reason you have all those allergy or those eczema symptoms is because your soul still remembers something that your logic may or may not remember. So your muscle memory, you have a muscle memory, simply responds to that command. Like, as I say, when I feel I'm walking difficult path, what do? My leg have to feel itchy. That's where the eczema kicking. I might be abused and in some life and associate that with hay. Therefore, in this life, whenever I smell that or when I experience the hay, right, my whole body responds to it, right? So now what it does is you have to find a way to disassociate it. Again, if you're able to take control of your soul, you're able to take control of your body, and you're able to let it know, look, this is a brand new opportunity for me to make it right. This is a brand new chance that I can make it right. I have a brand new set of body that will simply respond to what my soul tells you to do. That is, I'm here to advise you guys, take control of your body. Don't let your body control you. Then you will start to realize all those diseases, that little diseases you were born with it and didn't know what to do with it, you can actually do something about it, right? We will only feel helpless when we feel there's nothing we can do. I'm here to advise you. There's always something you can do. There's always something you can do. But, before you figure out what that something is, you have to have that ownership. You have to own it. Have that ownership. Therefore, you can figure out what you can do about it. So anyway, just a very quick roundup for you guys. What we're talking about eczema was basically a certain emotion that tie in very closely to your physical pain in certain life. That's why therefore your body responds exactly the same way in this life. Allergy is basically the same. It's when you are experiencing, you probably experience some kind of trauma memory or some kind of bad experience or some kind of, bad thing that happened to you in specific life. You associate that with certain substance. Such could be peanut, such could be fruit, such could be, hay, right? Nature, really, if you step out and think, nature come no harm. All those natural things like cedar tree or all those, apple even, or things like that, they come in no harm. Right? Why our body responds so strongly toward them, right? The best way to cure it is look within ourselves, right? Treat ourselves right. Teach ourselves, our soul, to disassociate that, because we come to this life to make things right. We don't come to this life to hang on to the previous, obstacle or previous pain, right? That we already gone there. Why are we suffering through again? So it takes a lot of self-brainwashing. Believe it or not, it takes me a lot of some brainwashing. I figure it actually worked better than allergy medicine. Well, when it hit me all at once, medicine is great because it gives me that quick release. But if you guys are seeking for long-term cure, I do suggest it's best to work within. To get yourself having understanding, I am given a chance. I have a choice. I own this body. That will always set a great foundation for a healthier body to come. So anyway, just a makeup episode for yesterday. But, if later on we have time, we will still try to do our coffee break. But till then, if you like what I'm doing, you can always join me live on Periscope or go to my Facebook or subscribe my YouTube or my website, ruowen.com. Till then, I will see you guys next time. Bye.